Guys, welcome to the Cash Flow Talk. Today I'm super excited. I'm going to talk about the 5 things I wish I knew before I became a landlord. Hey guys, welcome again to the Cash Flow Talk. My name is Camilo Palacio and thank you for watching this video. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to the channel below and give me a thumbs up and share with your contacts. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two and maybe your contacts will learn a thing or two, or maybe we will do a nice quick networking communication here and maybe we can do a deal together. So guys, today I'm going to talk about the 5 things I wish I knew before I bought my first rental property. So the problem is buying rental properties is a risky business if you don't know what you're doing. And also, unlike wholesaling, when you're wholesaling, you probably are told many times you don't need to use your own money. And yes, in many cases you don't. When you're flipping houses, buying, fixing, and selling houses, yeah, you may also be able to do a few deals here and there without using your own money. You can leverage with other people. But when you're talking about rental properties, it is a very cash incentive business. You need cash to put into the property and the money is gonna stay there until you're able to either refinance, but the goal is to have the properties mostly paid off or with very good, leverage through bank loans, low interest, 30-year fixed bank loans. But at the beginning, it's very cash incentive. It needs a lot of cash for you to buy a rental property. And you're gonna see the great returns coming in every single month, but they come in little pieces. So in other words, you put in a lot of money and you start taking out little pieces, but they take forever. Those little pieces, those nice little positive cash flows keeps coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back if that's what you're looking for and that's what you're thinking and that's the intention of buying rental properties. So the 5 things that I wish I knew before buying rental properties is, number 1, you are not going to buy a rental property to live in there. Guys, these are rental properties. You have to see it as a business. You have to see it as numbers first, okay? It has to make sense in the property and it needs to make sense in the spreadsheets. If you have your QuickBooks or Excel or however you do your numbers, even your calculator, if it makes sense and it cash flows, the property needs to have positive cash flow. That's the key of buying rental properties. If they have rental properties, they do make sense. But the number 1 thing I wish I knew is I won't have to live there. And let me elaborate on that. Guys, the first rental property, I wanted to put the granite countertops that I wish I had in my own house. I wanted to change the whole tile floors on these properties, even though I didn't have nice floors in my own house. And I wanted to put the nicest, best tile floors out there for rental properties. Guys, you're not living there and this is not a flip. It's a very different business. You're doing just the necessary items so that the property is clean, the property is safe for tenants and their tenants' kids and visitors and whatever. So you need to have it nice, clean, and decent. But guys, don't overspend money on these type of properties. I talk a lot about these on our YouTube videos. Don't overspend. It's a numbers game. So try to do I'm not trying to say do cheap repairs. I'm not trying to say cut corners. You have to do things the right way, but don't overspend. If you have to think about, for example, crown molding. You don't need crown molding in a low income or mid income rental property. You don't need that. That's money that you're gonna spend that you're not gonna see back. Not a tenant is not gonna rent or stop renting a property because, you have white crown moldings or you don't have white crown moldings. Come on, that's money that you can save. But for example, if obviously if you have a leaky roof, you gotta fix it. You're not gonna rent a property with a leak in the roof. If the kitchen doesn't have hot water, you have to fix the water heater because you're not gonna be able to rent a property without a water heater, right? So just make sure it's nice, make sure it's clean. You don't cut corners, you do things the right way, but you don't change the white floors because you like them gray. You don't change the floors that were installed 10 years ago because you want the trendiest, nicest looking floors in your property. Guys, again, you can do that in your own home, but don't do this in rental properties. So number 1, you won't live in that property. Number two, you have to have thick skin. You have to have thick skin with the tenants. Guys, I can't stress this enough. You are not here to be your tenant's friend. I'm sorry, I apologize. It doesn't mean that you can't be nice, but if tenant is not paying rent on time, and if tenant is not paying rent, if they're not paying rent on time, and if they're not taking care of the property, you are not to be their friend. You're not, because why? Because your friend is gonna pay you late. Your friend is not gonna take care of the house. Your friend is gonna say, oh yeah, Camilo or my landlord is gonna wait. They become your friend. If they become too close to you, they're gonna treat you as a friend. They're gonna be nicer, but your business is going to suffer. So guys, don't be so friendly, and you have to have thick skin, because when you're a landlord, look at my other videos about landlording. When you're a landlord, you have to have thick skin. There's gonna be fights, there's gonna be arguments, there's gonna be disputes, and there's gonna be problems with your tenants, because again, it's the biggest expense for a low-income family or mid-income family every single month. Every single month they owe you money, and they owe you the biggest, possibly the biggest paycheck, or the biggest pay, the biggest expense every single month. They owe it to you as a landlord. So number two is have thick skin. Number three, understand how Section 8 works. Guys, Section 8 is a program backed up by the government. It's a government program where the government pays for lower income families rent. All right, they pay for their rent. They pay for same thing as they pay for food stamps, and say they pay for Social Security for these tenants. So this government program, it's an amazing program if you're looking to rent properties to lower income people. It's guaranteed money, but you have to have some standards in the property. For example, and look at my other videos about Section 8, because I go in detail about how Section 8 works, what it is, and how you can benefit from it. But how Section 8 works is very simple. It's a government program where they pay you every single month, but the property needs to be in good standard living condition. You gotta have hot and cold water, running water. You have to have the tiles need to be in good condition, no roof leaks. The windows have to be in perfect condition. They need to open and close properly. Doors need to open and close properly. The locks in every single room have to be working. Guys, it's not rocket science. It just needs to work. It needs to be, it doesn't mean that it needs to be modern and it needs to be fancy and it needs to be high end. It just needs to be in working condition, guys. So number three is know and understand how Section 8 works. And again, if you got questions about how Section 8 works, drop me a comment below and I'll send you a link of my other videos on where I go detail by detail on how Section 8 works and how you can benefit from it. Number four is that the first rental property is the hardest investment that you can buy. Why? Because you don't know what to expect, and it's frustrating, and you're afraid of buying your first deal. You're afraid because you don't know what to expect. You're afraid of the unknown. You're uncertain. So that's one of the problems. That's number four, is understanding that the first rental is the hardest one. Be open to it. Be okay with solving problems. You're going to face problems. Guys, if landlording was easy, everybody would be doing it. And don't believe those gurus saying out there that being a landlord, that you can be a landlord in 6 months with $2,000 and you can be driving a Lamborghini or Ferrari in 6 months just working 2 hours a day. That's BS. It's hard work. Yes, there's passive income once you set it up. But for you to set it up so that it becomes passive income, you have to go through a process. It's not hard, it's not rocket science, but it's not a piece of cake either. So just understand that. And number five, I said it all the time, make sure the numbers work. Make sure the property's cash flow. Guys, that's the key of the rental business. That's the key of any business in real estate. If it has positive cash flow, who cares about appreciation? I say it all the time. If it has, let me rephrase that. Let me say it again. If it has positive cash flow, who cares about appreciation? Appreciation is the gravy, is the cherry on top. If the properties go up in value, great. There's an opportunity for you to cash out, sell it, and buy another property that cash flow. But if the property goes down, if the property's value goes down, Great, you're still cash flowing. You have a mortgage to pay and taxes and insurance that you need to pay, but your rental income pays for all that. So it's a recession-proof business, but you have to make sure that these properties cash flow positive every single month. Guys, since I've been doing this, I've had an incredible passive income for about 8 years now. I enjoy the freedom that it brings me. I can take my wife to the movies on a Tuesday afternoon. As you all know, I have a 2-year-old daughter, and so the afternoons and nights and weekends are pretty full. So sometimes I take time off my work, time off my business, and I go and enjoy a movie with her, because I know that as soon as the first of the month hits, that's when I collect my rent and the passive income comes in. So I've been following all these information. Watch my videos, guys. I share the good, but I share the bad and the ugly as well. Look at my Shit Happens episodes where I share the shit that happens in my business day in and day out. And again, it's not easy, but it's not rocket science either. So the action for you is you have to have a mindset switch. Guys, I was showing properties to a buyer just a couple days ago, and he's like, man, I'm looking for higher end rental properties, but they need to cash flow. Guess what? In South Florida, in the higher end markets, it's almost impossible to find properties that have positive cash flow, because they're higher end properties and the rentals don't compare. The rental comparables don't allow you to pay off the mortgage and pay the interest and taxes on these type of properties. So I told him, let's look at mid-range properties or low-range properties so that they cash flow positive. And he's like, well, I don't want to rent to these tenants that are not going to take care of my properties. And what about the repairs? And what about the maintenance? And what about these and that? What about when they pay late on when they don't pay on time and these and that? Guys, it's a mindset switch. You're doing this as a business. Again, number one is you're not going to live there. You're not going to live in these properties. It needs to make sense number-wise in your spreadsheet, and that's the end of it. So do your numbers and monitor them every single month. So that's my that's my action. You have to have a mindset switch. You don't need to live there. You're not going to live there. And do your numbers and monitor them monthly. Guys, again, please subscribe to this channel below. If you're interested in more information, hit that little bell if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video. My wife uploads great videos as well, so check her out. She talks a lot about the retail side of the business, being a realtor and what realtors can do to make more money in their business. And guys, listen, we're not making any money from these videos. I'm just sharing my experience, sharing my knowledge as a landlord, as a wholesaler, as a flipper, and I just love doing it. I share value because I know at some point I'm going to receive value, and I actually do receive a lot of value from other people that have YouTube channels and they share their experiences as well. So why not? That's my way of paying back. But if you like this information, please subscribe and share it to your people. Like it and comment below. And guys, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in buying rental properties or flip properties here in South Florida, give me a call, direct message me, and I'll be glad to send you inventory, because I have a lot of inventory, and maybe I can help you buy a few properties without using your own money, or at least buying it with your own money, but I can help you refinance, cash it out, so you get your money back in just a few months. Guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.